right, welcome back to the DMG's Third and Wrong YouTube channel. We got a new video up today. We're going to do the top 10 wide receiver prospects for this upcoming NFL draft. This is a spot that hits home for all three of us. We really like watching wide receivers. Enjoy
Enjoy them.
enjoy like scouting on them, and then all of our teams need them right now. So we got a bigger interest for it. Before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, comment, tell us your favorite wide receivers. Tell us if we missed out on somebody that we should check out a little bit more on. We got a few other guys that could have made the top 10, but we just haven't watched enough on them yet. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna go top 15 next time with these guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And also comment if you know of any diamonds in the rough that we should check out. Mention those as well.
for sure. The way we did it was, we each picked our own top 10 and then kind of just combined them and made a combined top 10 from it. So,
Yeah.
Starting off, first one, combined was Garrett Wilson. He was 1 and 2 on all of our boards. So,
Yeah. And Garrett Wilson's best trait is just getting open. He finds spots to get open and is a safety blanket, short, but also even like down the field, he's a safety blanket. So
and
I really like his tape.
he's 6 foot, 192 pounds, and yet he gets such easy separation and like yards after the catch with everything. He's not incredibly fast, like he's not a pure burner, but you could literally create like a how to do it tape on route running for him.
Mm-hmm. He's
You
a
could
great
showcase
route runner.
just perfect on everything. Everything's so crisp.
Yeah, even crowded in the Ohio State room that they have right now, he
Yeah.
still shined as the best wide receiver
Yep.
this year. Outside of maybe Smith and Jigba's
Yep.
2 unreal games.
Yeah, that which I'm excited for him next year. He's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
he
See,
is a tank.
I wonder if he can still do it with Olave and Wilson going to be gone this year. How he'll do.
Yeah, that's fair.
But with Wilson, he scored 12 times this year, and he also had a 141.7 passer rating when he was being targeted. So he's QB friendly,
Very
Oh,
QB
yeah.
friendly.
and I think he translates into the NFL easily
yeah.
with that preparation. So.
Yeah.
Second one is my favorite total in this draft. This is who
Oh yeah.
I want. He's not high on a lot of people's boards. He's around 4 or 5 for a lot of people. And I think as time's going on, you see him rising. And when the combine comes, I think he's gonna blow up. This guy is a freak, and he's what 6'3",
225.
yeah, 230, 225.
Yeah, he is an absolute machine.
And I don't know what he's going to do in the 40, but like game speed, he just blows by people.
Oh,
And that's in the SEC. Like he's so fast. He can run all the routes, not very cleanly, I should say. That's probably like his knock. He's not super crisp in his routes, kind of rounded off. But
Well, one thing about Treylon Burks I really like is you can't really make a whole lot of cases for the wide receiver being the best player on the team for a lot of these wide receivers. But Treylon Burks was the best player on Arkansas, and
yeah.
he was like, when you're playing against Arkansas, you're okay. Treylon Burks is the first name on the whiteboard,
Yep.
and then everything else. So the way that he produced, even with all that, with not so great of a quarterback, it speaks volumes to the kind of wide receiver that he is.
he reminds me a lot of like a A.J. Brown and Debo Samuel.
Yeah.
Debo, not the running back Debo, but Debo being used to getting the ball. He won't be a running back, but he can line up outside, inside, slot. He was lining up in the backfield for routes a lot of the time. He's really good. And if you have any like quarrels or concerns if you think he's good or not, go watch the tape against Alabama. Alabama's one of the best defenses, one of the best programs. You know that Treylon's going to get the ball. He's the only person good on their team, and he still torched him for 3 touchdowns. Handsome.
and torched him like on the runs. He torched him.
Yeah, like would
Uh,
catch the ball and then separate and run away from them and
Yeah.
score. Which yeah, he is my baby. That's who I would love
Yep.
the Browns to grab.
He's also my wide receiver 1 for sure.
Yeah, he's mine as well. But Dylan, this is Dylan right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Drake London he possesses an elite skill. I think Wilson and Burks also produce elite skills. But Drake London is 6'5". He is not just an Arcega Whiteside where he's just big and that's all he is. He's got route running, he's got footwork, he's got run blocking, and when he was on the field, he was also that player that, at least as far as your defense, you write down Drake London's name first, and then you worry about everyone else after that. He played Utah, who was a top 10 team this year, and had like 13 targets for 11 catches and just monster yards, something like that. He's unreal. He's got great hands, and he turns 50-50 balls into 730 balls, 70-30 balls. So I really like him. I think it's hard to compete with that kind of skill in the NFL, and with his footwork and everything else like that, he's going to get a lot of success.
I think pretty much like the only like fair comp for him is Mike Evans. Right now,
With Evans is faster, but yeah, that's what it is.
He's 6'5", 210, so he looks skinny, but he really isn't. He's just got a really long frame. And in the 8 games he played this year before he broke his ankle, he had 88 catches for 1,800 yards, or 1,080 yards. Jeez, it's a big difference. 7 scores, and then he led college football, even though he only played 8 games, with 19 contested catches, which is a good thing. And then also kind of my little drawback is, why is it contested so often? Why
Separation.
That lack of separation for me?
Yeah.
And I don't think, like, it says 1, 2, 3 on who are the best. I think this is 1A, 1B, 1C out of the wide receivers, and it's just, what do you want? Do you want just a pure route runner, guy that gets you easy separation and Wilson? Do you want a Treylon Burks who's just a freak weapon from anywhere? Or do you want that true 6'5" possession red zone target in Drake London?
Yeah.
Third down guy. Fourth is I think Mikey's boy right here.
Jameson Williams. Yeah, I like him a lot. I wasn't really too big on him, mainly because I haven't really been watching a whole lot of college football recently. But after watching a lot of his tape, he really changed my mind a lot. People were mocking the Patriots to get Jameson Williams, and I was like, no, dude, I don't know. Because he did just tear his ACL in the draft, or not in the draft, in the championship game. So we'll see how he recovers from that. But from the games that I watched, he's good, man. He's quick. He runs decent routes. He's got good hands. He's shifty. Can make people miss. And I like Jameson Williams a lot. He's gone up on my list quite a few spots for sure.
The thing though is the way that he's seated with a lot of these mock drafts and position rankings, everything like that. If he didn't tear his ACL, he would probably be a 1 or 2 wide receiver for most people. And honestly, like, I think he'll end up being one of the better wide receivers out of this. It's just really hard to go with someone that has an injury like that in a position and in a skill type that gets a lot of injuries. So that's really the biggest reason why he's even at 4. Like, he would be a number 1 or 2 wide receiver.
It's also kind of nerving because he's 6'2", so he's tall, but he's only 190, and he tore his ACL. Like, how, can he come back from that? I mean, you see people, just like Odell. Odell was a freak athlete, and you could see the decline after his first injury, like, dramatically from where he was before.
Yeah.
Not saying that he was like bad or anything, but like there was like a huge difference. Like when he was first couple years before he got injured, it was unplayable. But funny thing is, like, he transferred from Ohio State because he just couldn't get onto the field.
Tennessee.
Right?
I'm pretty sure it's Tennessee.
Ohio State. That's what I'm reading from.
Is it?
Here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought it was. Maybe this is wrong. I'm just reading this from PFF.
Yeah,
website.
I'll
You
assume
want
it's
to
right.
double check to see if they're wrong?
I'll check.
But I mean, he had 1,300 yards and 13 touchdowns and 20 yards per catch.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
big play guy.
it is Ohio State. Sorry, there's
Okay.
someone else that
Which
transferred from Tennessee. I think it was the linebacker to O or something like that.
okay. Fair
Sorry, my
enough.
bad, guys.
No. But I think he might be the fastest in the draft.
Yeah.
If everyone ran a 40, he probably won't be doing that.
No,
But he's pure speed. The guy is a game changer.
Yeah, I hope hopefully he
100%.
can
He's scary.
hopefully he can make a full recovery because I like him a lot.
Fifth, we got the other Ohio State boy. That's four Ohio State wide receivers that were
Really?
all on the same team, and
Yeah.
then Jameson went to Alabama. That's just crazy that they had four
Yeah.
like elite wide receivers, and he couldn't get into it, and he left. We got Chris Olave this time. Here at fifth.
Yeah, he was the third wide receiver for some of these games. He still put up great numbers. He put up fantastic numbers when he had Justin Fields throwing to him too.
Hmm.
And he's kind of the same cloth as Garrett Wilson is, but I I think he has a lot of great traits to have, but he just didn't really take control of that wide receiver room, and that's why people are having him a little bit lower. But he gets separation. He's a great route runner. He's got great hands, sideline catches, all that good stuff. I think it's just the volume is what's kind of holding him back.
He doesn't have that freak athleticism that the first four guys have.
Yeah.
True.
He's above average. You know, he's like a 4 out of 5 on that
Hmm.
kind of scale, but he is the most polished route runner. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Yeah, by
100%.
far.
and it shows. I mean, he only had 65 catches this year, but he scored 13 times on those catches for Ohio State. That's 20% of the time he was catching the ball, he was scoring. So not just that, he's also been there. I think he might be the oldest. He's a senior this year,
Hmm.
so he's
Yeah.
been doing it for years. And you're getting a guy coming out that's
He
not
would have
going to be
gone.
a young guy in the NFL. He'll know what to do.
I think he was a first round projected
Yeah,
last year as
Yes, he
well.
yeah.
was.
So, but
Yeah.
I guess moving on to the back half of these wide receivers, we'll go a little bit quicker on these ones. They're not going to be first rounders most likely, but Johan Dotson is our sixth wide receiver. He's 5'11" if everything is measured as he's listed,
Mhm.
and he's got a lot of experience. He is a great wide receiver. Uh, just there's a lot of people ahead of him, and he's really crafty. Like his game a lot, but I feel like you guys have watched him more than I have.
He's compared to like Antonio Brown coming out, just a short guy that's really quick
Hmm.
in everything he does. You know, not blazing speed, but very quick, which translates better onto the football field because I mean you don't get to just run full speed straight ahead in football. You have to cut and turn. He does that really well. Um, his size, I think, is a little bit overplayed. He only dropped 2 of his 95 passes thrown to him this year. So I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. I just think potential wise, because of the physical tools he has, it gives him that nudge up. Next, I think is Mikey and Dylan. The guys they like Jalen Tolbert.
I do like Jalen Tolbert. Dylan likes him more though.
Yeah, I think he's someone that is hard to really project mainly because of his competition level. But seeing him in the Senior Bowl and a few of these other opportunities before the draft, he's going to start turning heads. He's got great route understanding, not just like a good he can do a 5 yard out or whatever. But he's got great understanding where he needs to be when the ball is thrown. And honestly, if you had a good quarterback at all, he would have had a lot better numbers. I mean, there is one where he's playing against Tennessee and makes a great route, run, whatever, however you call it, he's wide open in the end zone. His quarterback does not see him until it's too late, and then he short arms it to him, and he can't catch it in the end zone. He's wide open. Oh, he suffered a little bit from all of that kind of stuff, but when you watch his tape, he's real. Like he has all the routes. He's got the ability to run after catch and everything. He's listed at 6'3", which makes him really intriguing. So I like him a lot. I think he's my diamond in the rough, and he's still in the second round most likely. So
He had a lot. He had 16 deep receptions
Yeah.
this year in college football. That's like 25 yards and over. It looks natural. Like when you watch him, it looks like he's a guy that should be playing in high school. Like he looks like high school tape around him because these guys just really aren't that great, and he looks like he should be in, playing college football.
Yeah.
And I think I think he'll translate. I don't think he'll have a big problem. I think if whoever gets him in the second or third round, they might be getting a good steal here.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, T. Higgins was taken in the second round. Michael Pittman. There's a lot of wide receivers that are great that go in the second round. I think that fits them really well.
Yeah,
But yeah, who's our next guy?
my boy.
Oh yeah, you got this one.
Here.
Take this and run.
So, big Boise State fan, obviously. I don't know if you guys don't know that, but he is a lot like Cedric Wilson, who's already in the NFL, played for Boise State as well. He's the guy that came in after Cedric graduated and went into the draft, and he filled in that like same position. Now the difference between him and Cedric is he's a little bit bigger than Cedric is, but he did that same slot gadget player for Boise State where he just did everything. Our team was not great, and he was like our only really good offensive player. He can run any route you want him to. It doesn't look clean a lot of the time because he just kind of has to. You don't get to see a lot of it because our offensive line for Boise State gets killed pretty quickly. So he kind of breaks off his routes early because of that. So it looks bad, but it's not really what it's supposed to do. But he does everything for that team. He can play the slot is where he should in the NFL. But he's quick and he's got incredible yards after catch. He makes great plays. He had over 1,000 yards in the slot just this year, and that's just in the slot, let alone everything else. And if you watch like highlights of him, he probably has the best body control in the air in this draft. But I mean that's enough gushing for me.
He looks legit though, so
Yeah, he'll be good. He'll probably go in the third round because of school.
yeah.
But I mean he'll be good. Eighth, we've got Wandell Robinson.
Yeah.
He left
Wandell.
the football school of Nebraska to join the better football school in Kentucky.
Oh
Apparently.
yeah. He blew up going into the SEC from the Big Ten. He wasn't asked to be much of a running back as he was in Nebraska,
Yeah.
but he started from day one hot, and he kept it throughout the whole year. He's fast. He's that gadget, screen, do whatever you want kind of guy. He's real. He's very sudden in his speed too. There's a lot of players that they kind of just pick up speed, but he's right out of a cannon every time he
Right.
takes a cut and everything. So he'll get a lot of play, especially coming up with the draft. He's got phenomenal highlights, but he's a catcher. Like he can catch it deep. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's gonna be the same player, but he's got to be the closest thing to Tyreek Hill with his catching ability and everything like that for the size and speed and everything. Like he's the closest thing to that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, so he's 5'11", 180. He is like a pure gadget player.
Oh yeah.
Like he will come into your team and he'll return kicks, return punts. You guys will use him in screens. You'll find ways to get him the ball in space, just in his hands, just create opportunities.
Yeah.
He won't be a number one or number two for your team. He's
Can't
like,
imagine him with Justin Herbert though. Ooh.
yeah, he's a gadget. You get him the ball, he'll make plays. He had 20 broken tackles in the SEC for his size. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He had 1,200 yards on
And
in the SEC for Kentucky. I don't. There's not much more to say. He's
Yeah.
he's
yeah,
electric.
he's good.
He's
He's good.
He's
He's
electric.
electric.
So,
Yep.
and then finally, John Menchie the third.
He's a sneaky wide receiver.
Yeah,
I feel
he
like
is.
he's got a lot to like, but like he just doesn't have a whole lot of top end, and his consistency is also something that kind
Yeah.
of holds him back too. But he came up clutch a couple times in the college football playoffs, so I think he's got what it takes to be in the NFL for sure. But he projects more of a wide receiver two or a slot guy. That's going to make an impact, but that's what he projects as.
Yeah, he's 6 foot 200. Consistency, like Dylan said. Mikey sent a text out. He's like, dude, I've been watching this guy's highlight tape. He's like, why is it this guy's like just as good as Jamison? Why is no one
Yeah.
talking about him? And then we sent him like the every game thing, and he kind of watched, and you can just see like when he's on, he's top
on.
3.
He is
When
on.
he's off, he's like 15th
Yeah.
receiver in the draft. Like he's just like, madly inconsistent, which is
Yeah, which I found out very quickly.
Not what you want out wide receiver.
yeah, no, it's not great. I mean, you don't want a Sammy Watkins, right?
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins is great for 3 games, and then it's gone.
If he
Yeah.
could turn it on and leave it on for the rest of his career, I think he will be a amazing receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
But
If
don't know
if you
what it
get
is
him in
really.
the 3rd or 4th round,
I think
Yeah,
he's
he
a
was a-
steal for right there.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that kind of wraps up our top 10 for right now. These are due to change eventually as we get through
Yep.
the process.
yeah.
But a lot of these guys are going to stay top 10 for sure. But like we said earlier in the video, drop a comment on your top 10 or your diamond in the rough. Also, drop a like and subscribe for more of this kind of content. We are going to put a lot more out here in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope you guys
See you guys.
enjoyed.
Thanks.